explain what's going on and what could be our future with these net zero plans of the government, I'm joined by Alan Moran of Regulation Economics, which studies the economics of global warming policies. Alan Moran, thanks for your time. For background, let's call up a graphic that you've sent me showing how much wind and solar power some selected countries have, a number of them in Europe, plus the electricity price. Please tell us what this graphic shows.
Well, you can see quite a strong correlation between the amount of renewables, wind and solar, and the price of electricity. And that's the sort of bedrock on which the current sort of crises are standing. Basically, the EU countries, Germany, France, not France, but Spain, and UK and Italy have got quite high shares of renewables and have got very high prices. And bear in mind, no renewables get built anywhere in the world unless there's a subsidy. And so, you know, that's the basis of the current malaise, I guess, in prices that you're talking about, which has been aggravated by closures of plants, especially coal plants, and UK and Spain have closed about 80% of their capacity, Germany about a third of its capacity. Germany's also closed its nuclear plant, so it's in quite serious condition. Those countries that are doing quite well in terms of prices throughout the world are countries that have been building plants. Korea, for example, has been building coal and nuclear. The US and Canada have been transformed into energy powerhouses by adopting fracking of gas and replacing coal by gas because it's much cheaper there now. And that technology has been vilified in Australia. So we don't, and in the UK. So neither us or the UK are actually engaged in fracking. So we basically haven't got a buffer of domestic gas in response to the very high prices that are being seen overseas. You know, and
ironically, of course, Alan, Europe was left in a worse position by the fact that the last winter was so severe. Despite all this global warming talk, it ran down some of the sort of supplies it had in store of gas and etc. And there it is. It's out of chocolates right now. Now, Britain was among the hardest hit countries. We're seeing all these headlines. How much of that is due to global warming policies?
Well, all of it, really. I mean, basically, Britain has replaced coal, dependable coal and gas, by wind. And so we have high cost and non-reliable energy, which is about 40% in the UK. It's about 20% here from wind and solar. And basically, that's a catalyst for the great vulnerability which you referred to at the present time. The gas prices were high, the stocks were run down, and prices now of electricity in the UK and in Germany are about 3 times the forward price of Australia, which and our price is by no means low. So we've got the situation of both of these countries and Spain and elsewhere in Europe now facing this malaise of very high prices. And we're getting promoted to do the same sort of thing, including by that absurd take from Prince Charles. But it's not just Prince Charles, of course. We're seeing a great deal of propaganda from internal sources in Australia. In particular, the Business Council, for example, has come out with this new report just a couple of days ago. Ironically, it said coal and gas are going to collapse when they're now facing very high prices. But basically, the Business Council was saying, oh, well, 6-7 years from now, we're going to move our electricity supply from 75% coal and gas to 15%. And then shortly after that, we're going to eliminate it altogether. It's just madness. And one way or the other, they're being crazy. Supported by a whole lot of other people who are online and in conferences at the present time saying the same
News
thing.
Corp, I know what you're hinting at. You can say it. It's News Corp newspapers. I had to go at it yesterday. You're absolutely correct, Alan. I should point out a couple of other things too. You saw your graphics showed how reliant so many European countries are on wind and solar. Well, of course, there's been a death in the wind over Europe, and that has cut the output from wind farms by a lot, which put them in a big hole. And then there was Germany, so green that it got rid of a lot of nuclear energy after the Fukushima incident, which, by the way, killed not a single person. And now it's really dependent on Russian gas. So it's lost its sovereignty. Alan Moran, I cannot believe that Australia, seeing all this, ignores the reports about it and is marching to this very future. It frightens me. Alan Moran, thank you for doing your bit to try and warn us.